What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Dumpster Fire. This is my channel. I'm your host, DJ Soundstorm. Huge shout out to Monster Cat Music for the music that we're going to be playing throughout the streams and the videos now, so there's a lot less silence and just waiting for the Thunderbolt to go off. That is UC and Wimbo Tell Me. Shout out to Monster Cat for all the awesome releases that we've had throughout 2025, and we're looking forward to 2026 to see a lot of releases coming out for Uncaged and a few others in December and then into the new year. So really excited for that, and shout out to those guys for the awesome music. But what's going on, guys? In for another one. This is the Chill PVE Tarkov 1.0, and we are getting some quests done kind of at a one at a time thing. We just got done in factory on the last video getting chemical part 3 taken care of, and now we're just going to try to get some of these one-offs. Like I said before, there is the specific routes for the questing and the order that you're doing that will make it where you are isolating maps to where there's a lot to do on one map. Helps with repetition, helps with like knowing where you should and shouldn't be, and if you get clapped on those maps, you'll know that like, all right, hey, maybe we should pay attention a little more in that section, and get you more understood of like the PVE stuff that's there. Obviously the PVE PMCs, there we go, my brain could not configure that sentence as easily as it should have. Those are going to be the wild card for a lot of these situations. Kind of like if Sanitar is up, because we're going to be headed to Shoreline, but a majority of this stuff is going to be PvE centric. I want to make sure that that is specifically and very 100% well understood. Some of the just casual running around that I'm doing on the PvE side is not going to be what I'm doing on PvP most of the time. You kind of learn where the locations for the spawns are for a lot of the PvP side of things. But one thing that is pretty consistent is like where the scavs are located, right? Where some of the hotspots are, where the bosses spawn. These are all reasons why I think PvE is super good for Tarkov, as long as your mental end game is to jump in and see how you fare in PvP if you're looking for something a little more difficult. Because adding the player to the game is kind of insane. The damage spike, and with all the other factors that happen, it really does add that second layer. But we have the quest to tag the Tiger tanks in Shoreline. There are 3 of them, and we are going to jump into those and jump into the raid. So with that, this is our scrap metal. Love you, good night. This is scrap metal on Shoreline for Peacekeeper. So let's get off my face and into the raid. Right back into it. This is the Sunday before we go back to work when we are recording. Obviously, you guys are a little bit behind in terms of the days, but we are the Sunday after Thanksgiving. Have to get back to work tomorrow. We'll be pumping out a couple more videos throughout the week and getting these up. So as we said, we're going to try to make sure we have one video a day for the rest of 2025, as we are going through this trip to get some of the stuff caught up on PvP, or on PvE, excuse me, and then our PvP content I'm going to try to keep while we are live, so you guys can jump in and see if the fruit of our labors running through the PvE side actually helps out with PvP at all. So far, the fact that we just touched on those quests does help, because it's a huge refresher, and I did not play an extensive amount last wipe, so that part has been super helpful. Oh, really awesome spawn, actually. Huge. So that recency, like, understanding hasn't been as good because I didn't play the very last wipe. We just came in at the, that is a grenade launcher, at the onset of all of the antics and free labyrinth and the Halloween event and things like that. So it's kind of been a nice refresher for me, at minimum. Stashes. Yes. Scrap metal went off. Of all the things that I remember about this map, besides the fact that I dislike it a lot. And the only reason I dislike it a lot is because Sanitar is... his guards are such a pain. And then just being punished by all the players that play on Shoreline. Like, that is the thing. Corrugated hose. Also massive, large. I don't remember corrugated hoses being that big of a situation in the past, but man, are they now. Sounds like Pimka's spawned towards tunnel. We have path to Lighthouse Railway Bridge. So the smart thing to do here, based on our location, would probably be to skirt around Cottage, not try to run through it. Just in case there is a Sanitar. Because we have Tiger tanks this direction, over by Power Station. And then one to the back. Like this. This is a perfect example of stuff that I do not and highly recommend against for PvP. Running across Killing Field, directly across like I just did, if I was on the PvP servers, I would be sweating by the time I got 4 or 5 steps in. Like, physically sweating. We're going to need to angle this direction just a little bit. We've got to get past. So I'm going to stand back. Come on now. We are not trying to go up to Resort. We're just taking a wide berth around Cottage. And in normal situations, I think if we had that spawn, you definitely would stop and loot at least a good majority of the houses that we just came out of in that town. Because there usually is a lot of really, really good, especially early white, but there's a bunch of really good hideout loot. Loot in general, but definitely stuff for your hideout. Okay, so we are going to maybe engaging Power Station to get by it. There is a fight going on already, it sounds like. Maybe not. Well, I've been wrong before. Other tank should be, if we follow this road, on the bridge right here. Little cash down here? Hell yeah. Dash big time. Wrench, something we need. We don't need the Quinn. Okay. Now the play here, to maximize actually getting to loot for a little bit, I think. This is just a me thinking out loud thing. It's what we're going to try to do and see if it works out our way. Is we're going to try to rotate around Resort, because we are right next to Resort. Honestly, on PVE, you should be able just to bust straight through if you want to, right? Like, just head up and through. Just be cautious. for obvious reasons. Shot sounded closer than I liked. But if you're just trying to focus on getting the quest done, there's no reason to engage that shit. Like, oh, I thought that was a body, it's a rock. If you're just looking to focus on the quest, avoiding resort until you have to go up there is probably pretty big smart. Like, just overall. Even if you are really sure that you're playing great, you've been killing everything, Hades through the roof for your, like, little Tarkov session, if Sanitar's up and you catch an unlucky grenade, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Okay, there is stuff out of outposts. So the best way, in my opinion, to do this the right way would be to rotate to the back side of resort. And this should be able to maximize the amount of loot that you're going to get. We're going to try to head to the back. Go nail our tank. Then instead of going in there, we go out there. That camp actually has a ridiculous amount of good loot. Especially since we're looking for, like, the stuff for your hideout upgrades and then turn-ins for quests that are, you know, like PCBs and chances for stuff that you can actually use for crafting. So that camp, as opposed to going in, and by all means, if you got the want to and you want to run in and check on resort, 100%, like, go and do that. Obviously the loot up there everybody knows is great, but for the chill direction, that shot that I just heard sounded a little closer than those appear to be headed to car. So the last Tiger tank is directly in between two good options to get out of Shoreline. There's going to be a sniper scav above it most of the time, and maybe one roamer, maybe two on the bottom. So you could drop this and then just keep running straight the direction that I'm going, right to path to Lighthouse. But missing out on some of the loot that Shoreline offers would be kind of... it'd be the smart play, right? But most of the time in PVE, the reason why we're doing PVE is because we're not as worried about the players getting the gib or someone getting a really good hero shot. So if you have the opportunity to go get some of that loot, I would. Also have the Red Rebel extract, I guess. Completely forget that that exists most of the time. So, can go this way. That man tried to kill me. Alright. That yet chapter started. I don't know what that is. All this stuff's still so new and confusing. Scrap metal done. Usually the... oh, probably doesn't put the key there until... So, the biggest reason, I guess, or the decider for what you should do in this situation, I'm not going to be scavving on this account unless we're doing something with, like, friends of ours or members of the community that want to run scavs on PvE. There's not much that I could do on my scav that I can't or shouldn't just do on my PMC, in my personal opinion. But getting the fence rep is something that is super huge. So that involves using car and getting out. So with this strategy, running back over to the scav camp, doing a little bit of looting. A, the loot out there is incredibly good. But B, I'm over by the car extract. So I can get large thick. And then, if necessary, limp to the car. I don't have a whole lot of storage left, but there probably should be... I'm at the point of the game right now where I'm really hunting for good ammunition. Big time. I think that's the one thing that I'm lacking is good ammo. And I can't buy anything else, so that makes it even worse. There's the car extract. There's the camp. We did hear shots and grenades out this way. So we are going to proceed with some little bits of caution. Because scavs don't predominantly throw grenades. But Pimkas do. Pretty sure I got that guy. I did get that guy. How did I get your buddy and not you? So many questions. Oh, thank God. Probably take this first guys. These first two guys, NATO. Pretty sure that was a grenadier kill. Gonna get that repack in before we find more bears. That is a really big find. Oh. Maybe we find a better backpack. So I've said this before, and I just want to reinforce what I mean. That's why 60 rounders are bad. scavs. Mag drill already level 3. I wonder why. Maybe it's because of all of these 60-round magazines. I really do want the CP mod that the guy's wearing. Like, really, really do. I'm hoping one of those scavs had, like, a pilgrim on or something. Take that. There's a sledgehammer. Don't I already... I think I already have one on this side. Your sling is unimpressive. Oh, but he had peas. And he had a Golaf that I can't take. Okay. I would totally consider swapping out for that CP mod, honestly, if I wasn't literally... Oh, hot rod, gimme. If I wasn't literally wearing Pagilla armor. Yikes! I definitely got the jump on me. Whatever he was shooting was angry. Thought it was a scav, based on how it was walking. Not gonna lie. There's a car battery. God bless it. I have to make hard decisions. Not too hard, honestly. Yes, like, realistically, not too hard. Oh, it's not real. Fake pineapple hurts. This dude was just up here minding his own business, looting his face off. Then he ran into me. What did you have for ammo that hurt me that bad? That instead. Just PS? Really? Alright, now we just need to maximize our loot. Another Dedge guy. Oh, that's 54539. Beta 2, boys. Large. I know what you're thinking. Soundstorm. That's the exact same amount. Yeah, but now we have room. Let's find out what he was firing. Yes, probably right. Don't make me... Yeah, okay. Yeah, don't make me make decisions. Gonna... Oh. Plunge. Here. Here. So I said I wanted that CP mod, and I wasn't joking. This is going to make this walk interesting, but worth it because CP mod. All right. Don't even know. The SP5 is that. The wrench we need, but we only need the wrench because of trying to make toolkits. So we can itemize. Need that either. These were all bears. Every last one of them. Large. Huge loot experience. I am big. Quick load on those real quick. We have room still, but we're at 57.7 kilos. And I really don't want to do the whole start stop, throw my bag crap. Just want to hope that the car is up, which it should be because we're on PVE. And get out of here with this beautiful CPC mod. Oh, that thing's so nice. We're class 5, bro. A lot of people prefer the Val. Not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of it. Maybe because I didn't really use it as much. I know back when the Val got extremely, extremely popular, it was before my time kind of thing. Oh, are you serious? Am I actually doing this? My brother in Christ. You're really not worth it. But this was kind of the point. Was so we could just make it. That's not a thing. Okay. Because the car is like right there. We're probably like 2 sprints away from it. Close. We are at least like out of scav range where they can tap us now. I don't think we looted all of our Pimkas. And that's kind of PM. Like, definitely if you're getting kills on the PMCs, be sure to at least stop and grab their tags. Remember, you've got turn-ins for Friend from the West early on. You've got Counteraction, I believe is the name of the quest later on as well. Where you're going to need bear dog tags for the lighthouse branch of some of those quests. So, big, huge yes in terms of make sure that you are... Why not? At least grabbing their dog tags. Because you absolutely will not regret that. From either the barters to the quests that you need them for. Still big wins. Nope. There's more PMCs that just showed up. So yeah, that's the strategy that I would use for that quest specifically, depending on where you're starting. You have to get to those 3 locations. Between that and Signal and the medical quest that you have to do on here for the marking the med locations all over the place. A lot of the Shoreline quests are only difficult because you either have to do them all in the same raid or because you're running literally all over the map to get those done. And it... You guys hear that? And it legit warns you early. All of these are an adventure, so whatever the path of least resistance is, on the PvE side, you can take that, or just try to run in and kill everything, but that's completely up to you. For newer players, probably not going to be just killing absolutely everything. But any opportunity that you have on PvE to take a car extract, I 100% would. Big survive on that one. 4 bears, 1 sniper, and a quest done. Big XP, big loot. And our quest to get some of these early quests done and to get to level 20 so we can utilize the flea market is well on its way. Well on its way. But don't forget about that camp out there too. Obviously on PvE you might run into bears like I did. There's going to be a lot of scavs. And on PvP, the reason why I don't usually go out there on PvP is because it's a really easily viewable area. Anybody who's got a scope can see you out there, right? So you are putting yourself in a situation where they can probably see you. Here's another perfect example of running all over Shoreline. Eagle Eye is going to take us to both sides of the map, all over the place. We may just run in and grab that one next. Quick overview of what we came out of for loot for that one. The trusty G36 still pulling its weight. Did have some ammo for the weapon, but we're still firing that HP. Still can't get better. Did come out with a lot of stuff that we actually needed, and that gorgeous CPC mod. And that is going to do it for me for this one, guys. If you're enjoying the content, please hit like and subscribe. You guys know the typical YouTube trope from all people that are creating on this network, or on the platform. Just helps us have other people find us. So we appreciate you guys. And if there's something you'd like to see us do, myself Bags or myself individually, in game for PvP, make sure to leave that in the comment and let us know if there's something else that you'd like us to check out or explain, because maybe you're stuck. Again, for a lot of high-level Tarkov players, this probably ain't gonna be shit. A lot of these guys are gonna look at the content that we're putting out and they're like, oh, big scary PvE guy, verb. I am, when I'm streaming, doing PvP. I am capable of PvPing. We are level 15 there already. But this is the chill variant, and a lot of my friends have switched over to PvE because they've done it for so many wipes. So I actually enjoy this. It is chill for me, and it's a lot of fun just to, you know, tee off on PMCs sometimes, as opposed to getting outgunned by every single person with a little better latency than I have. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. We will see you in the next one, and as always, stay in the mix.